Season 4 of MX vs. ATV Legends is finally here, and man, oh man, what a massive update to this game. Not only is the entire 2025 Monster Energy Supercross season available now as DLC, rounds 1 through 7 available today, and rounds 8 through 17 will be available at a later date, but also there's a ton of new options available in the game as well. Notably of which, they actually have a new bike that you can test out for the devs a little bit. It's supposed to be heavier, slower, a little bit different physics engine than what they've been using so far in the game. We're going to talk about that today. We're also going to talk about all the new bikes that are available to purchase for the 2025 models. We have Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki, and KTM models all updated to 2025, and you're able to now purchase them as DLC as well. So we're going to get in and talk about all of this, show some of this stuff off for you guys, and yeah, this is awesome. Season 4 is here. Okay, I know that was probably a lot, so let's kind of break it down again real quickly. First of all, welcome to Season 4 of MX vs. ATV Legends. New content, customization, improved features. Check out the new space. The main menu garage has been totally redone. New locker and garage areas, better lighting and more, and new filter for all the new stuff as well. So as you go through the bikes, you can filter through them to find what you're looking for. And then depending on what manufacturer you choose, obviously I have Kawasaki here. It puts a rig behind you and it gives you like this cool little display to see your rider. So that's pretty cool. Try out the new speedometer with more informative tachometer and simpler indicators. Don't like it? Want a bit less? Head to the settings menu and customize the style and transparency of each HUD element. So you can play with a lot of that stuff. You can see like kind of a new UI system in general. In the upper right hand corner they have like some gap markers up there, and then of course the bottom right has a whole new thing about how the rev limiter goes, and then it shows you using your clutch and seat bouncing and different things like that, what gear you're in obviously. So that's pretty cool. And then this is obviously the hugest part of it. The non-stop action for the 2025 Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship DLC is out now. Again, this is rounds 1 through 7 that is available at launch of Season 4, which is today. But rounds 8 through 17 will come at a later date. They're updating the tracks as they go, obviously, to reflect what we see in real life. So we'll play rounds 1 through 7 today here in just a second, but I want to get through this other stuff as well. You can look forward to improved terrain deformation, more competitive AI, and better looking atmosphere on the new tracks. The 2025 OEM DLC is also available. 2025 Honda pack includes the CRF 250 and 450R, HRC team kits, SKDAs, and Throttle Syndicate graphics, and an Alpine Stars Leapon HRC team gear. Comes with Yamaha pack as well. So this is all individually sold. You guys will need to buy these because as they update the models in the game as well as the new Supercross pack in the game, to get the licensing agreements to do this in the first place costs them a lot of money. So that's how they sell it as a obvious microtransaction, which I know some people don't like, but that is why they are reselling these again, even though, you know, you've maybe already bought the OEM pack for the prior ones. This is now the new OEM packs, basically. So if you want these updated kits, that's how you get those. Again, Cowie as well, another new set of graphics, another new gear set that goes with it. The Suzuki RMZ 450s also, and 250 also in here. Bunch of graphics, bunch of gear kits that go with it. New KTMs as well, 125, 252 stroke as well, along as our standard 4 strokes, and then some more gear, and even the Triumph. So owners of the 24-25 Triumph DLC now get access to the FXR Podium 2025 team gear for Triumph Factory Racing. Here is a look at some of the new kits, some new Thor stuff that looks a lot like the Pittsburgh stuff we saw just this past weekend. Obviously some updated fly kits as well, the Kinetic Mesh Rave, the Alpine Stars Racer Veil, and Techstar Melt. And then I love this personally, the Fox Flex Air KR94 Special. This was the gear that Roxon wore in 2018 after he severely broke his left arm, hence why you have the blue to red on only the left arm and the rest of the gear being white. One of my favorite kits of all time, to be honest with you. But this is also another thing that they talked about in the release. They want your guys' feedback on these pro physics that are now experimental on the MX450F experimental bike. It's a little slower, a little heavier, requires a little bit more attention to speed when tackling rhythms, but they're looking for feedback. So if you guys get involved on their Discord, they want to know what you guys think of this bike and whether these physics updates are something they can implement to future updates to the game. So no clutch boost, or it uses a new clutch boost build up instead of just kind of flicking the clutch to get clutch boost. So you'll build up the clutch as well. Release it before landing spinning during rhythm sections to get enough boost to clear the next section of the rhythm. So that's how you obviously get some flowing through there. And again, they want you guys to get involved on their Discord. So I can include a link, or you can just look there, discord.gg/MX versus ATV, and there's all the links to that as well. So let's jump in, shall we? Let's try out the Supercross tracks today. You guys already got an idea of all the customization available, but you guys want to see Supercross, so let's check it out. All right, I'm going to try to basically run through these pretty quickly, so we might only do a lap on each, but of course this is Anaheim 1, 2025, and I'm going to do a whole video tomorrow comparing these tracks that are already available in MX vs ATV Legends to the tracks that we have in the Monster Energy Supercross video games, so you guys can be able to get a direct comparison of these two games, because I think a lot of people were excited to see that if you don't like the Supercross video game, there will still be these Monster Energy Supercross tracks in MX vs ATV. And here's how I understand it, as far as I know, in talking to people at Feld, talking to the people at Milestone about getting the license for the game again, and of course figuring out what's going on with MX vs ATV. It sounds like the official license for Supercross tracks is basically purchasable. Pretty much anybody can get it and include it in their game. It's no longer like it has been in the past, which is like if you're the Supercross video game, you purchase a complete license for the series, and that gives you obvious rights to use the tracks and stuff like that. Obviously, it also comes with being able to use the riders, which is something MX vs ATV Legends does not have. But yeah, now it sounds like it's totally, completely available for anyone to purchase, which is good news, of course, for Motocross the game as well, for fans out there that are excited to see that. So I'll talk about that more in just a second, but this is Anaheim 1. Let's go check out San Diego. Continuing on with that discussion as we head now into San Diego, basically the synopsis of it all is that it's no longer an exclusive license, and as I understand it, believe it to be true as well for the Pro Motocross Championship as well. I believe MXGP is still an exclusive license. I think that they sold that license individually to KT Racing for making the game purposes, obviously, for that one. But I think that, other game series could get involved now and create more Supercross tracks that reflect real life. Hence why we're seeing these tracks in MX vs ATV Legends as well as Monster Energy Supercross, the game. So I think that's awesome. I think that creates a little bit more competition as well, because now I think that the Supercross, the game people will try to up their game a little bit so that the gameplay that they have could be better. Whereas I think a lot of people are going to very much enjoy playing these tracks in MX vs ATV Legends. I really do as well. But this is San Diego. Let's check out Anaheim 2. All right, as we head into Anaheim 2 here, as I kind of keep talking about this whole license thing, what I will say again is that MX vs ATV Legends is basically trying to update these tracks as we go. Which is why we already have these first 7 tracks. Like, they've already fully completed rounds 1 through 7 based on what we saw in real life. So instead of releasing the blueprint version like Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game, has, and then updating it later, Legends looks like they're just trying to get it right from the get-go when they eventually launch these tracks. So you're not going to see those rounds 8 through... would be 8 through 17 for a little bit. They will come soon. We're hoping to have more information soon about when they would come out. But at least for now, you get to start off with the first 7 rounds of the championship. And just from playing these already, they're bangers. Like, honestly, I think that they hit the nail on the head a little bit with some of these tracks. Pretty tough. Like, they're challenging for sure with the current physics in the game. Like, I think a lot of the really good players in this game will make this look way easier than me. But certainly a fun challenge to be able to play these tracks. And like I said, we'll compare and contrast them with Monster Energy Supercross, the game. Let's head over to Glendale. Oh, I accidentally put rainy on for Glendale. That's kind of funny because they would obviously just close the roof of the stadium if it was raining outside. But we'll do some rainy laps on this one. Yeah, but all told, this is, to me, just such an awesome time for moto gaming in general. We started Start Your Systems in an era when there was nothing. Like, there was barely Supercross Encore coming to the limelight, and MX Sim was big. MX Bikes was just getting started, but was very, very early development. And the fact that we now have so many games that have all these different options for us to play, and they give you many different ways to play it. So if you are a fan of Legends and you want to play Supercross tracks, they give you that option. And also Legends, of course, has the Pro Motocross DLC that they've had for many, many years. So that's really cool that they are continuing that on. I don't know that it's going to be part of this track pass. I'm not 100% sure on that just yet, but be on the lookout in the future for any updates to that. And it's just really cool that, there's so many different options for us to play. I think that Legends really does a good job with everything that they've done since launch to really make this game very appetizable for just the casual player to play something and try something a little bit different if they're getting tired of the monotonous milestone games or they don't want to try too hard to play the MX Bikes or MX Sim stuff. This is another good alternative to that. So now let's get out of the mud and let's head over to Tampa. So one thing I will say about these tracks is, like I told you, they tried to do as much updates to these tracks as possible to make them reflective of what we saw out of the tracks in real life. But of all the tracks, I feel like Tampa maybe is the one they missed the mark the most. For example, coming out of this corner, this double-double is very correct. This is not. They were absolutely going 3-3 right here, and you can, but they made it really easy to also go 2-4, which is totally not possible. This section, it works, but it looks funky. On-off, table over single, or over table on-off. I think that's just the physical aspect of the game making it a little bit more challenging. And then out of this corner, I was trying to go for it, but it's really hard to triple in right here. And a handful of 450 guys were doing it in the main event in Tampa. So that's kind of interesting to me. And then the Stewart line right here was doubling and then triple, which is possible. But rolling in and going 2-2, which is the alternate line, is pretty much impossible on this track. It's actually even easier to go 3-2, which is definitely not possible in that rhythm section. So not to be overcritical, but this is one track that I feel like they missed the mark at least a little bit with it. But that's okay. I don't think every track is going to be a home run. Second to last available track here on the docket. This is Detroit, of course. So we've now made it into some of the East Coast rounds. So basically you get 5 West Coast rounds, because we're going to do Arlington, which is a true West race, and then 2 East Coast rounds thus far, but more are coming down the pipeline. Detroit, also another very fun track. I think that this section is super fun back here to be able to play and feel what it was like IRL. This is a little bit difficult to get this triple right here, which was another line those guys were doing, but certainly if you're a little bit more talented than me at the game, it is something that you could do. And then, overall, I think that they, hit the mark on a lot of different aspects of this track and how it plays and how it should play and stuff like that. So, kind of cool to be able to experience Detroit. We'll also check out Arlington before we wrap up here today, but definitely let us know in the comment section below, how important you guys think it is that the games involved, not just Monster Energy Supercross, the game, a lot of the games can now get involved and have license agreements with official series, because to me, I think it's huge. And part of why I think it's huge as we check out Arlington to wrap this up is because I think the competitive landscape in racing video games is massive for improvement. Look at what NASCAR is going to get this year with NASCAR 25. Now that iRacing, which was turned into the industry standard for racing games, became, the developer basically of the new NASCAR game, because people were sick and tired of what they were getting out of the previous iterations of NASCAR games. And so many people jumped over to playing NASCAR and iRacing that eventually they're just like, let's just make a game out of it. And so I think that's huge because it allows the consumers to not only pick what is the best of all of them, and then we can get, more progress in our video games overall, but it makes it so that the competition, Milestone and Rainbow, and obviously MTG and everything that they're doing over there, they all have to kind of outdo each other to vie for attention, which means that we get a better representation overall of what a dirt bike should play like and feel like. And MX vs. ATV Legends is living proof of that, because when they started, it was a game that so many people did not like, and now a lot of people really love actually. So the fact that they have been able to develop and get better and learn and listen to the community and stuff like that is massive. And I definitely hope that's something that the Milestone developers, now seeing this come out and seeing what fans like or don't like about this pack, will listen to and try to learn from and make their game better as well. So this is Season 4 of MX vs. ATV Legends. The update is pretty much out now. It should be pushed to consoles, so your consoles should update with it if you haven't already. As I said, this is DLC for Monster Energy Supercross. The extra bikes are also DLC as well. But other than that, definitely go try out that new Element bike and, you know, give some feedback to the testing. Check out some of the new atmospheres, and overall, just keep grinding this game, man. It's been a lot of fun to see the progression and see it continue to progress. But this has been a MX Gaming News update here on Start Your Systems. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let us know in the comment section below. But we'll see you guys again soon. So long for now. If you liked that video, be sure to subscribe to the channel for much more Motocross gaming content.